Hey everybody, Jason Burmis here, and we got a really, really special broadcast for you this evening because, as many of you know, Jamie Deluxe has now been completely deplatformed via Dose channels after several years, many years really, of extremely important work incorporating both humor and mainstream, mainline information in an effort to expose high-level pedophilia in both Hollywood, in government, and really in the upper echelons of quote-unquote society. So before we get into where the YouTube gods touched you, Jamie, we're gonna bring out a doll. You tell us where they touched you.
Oh God, memories.
I want to ask you how you're doing. You seem to be taking this in pretty good stride. But when it happened quick. It happened swiftly. They went after past videos. It really wasn't much of your current work. And then when you tried to re-upload some of these things, because they were not really specific about what videos had quote-unquote violated their community standards, they swiftly took you down again, correct?
Yeah. Yep.
So,
Definitely.
so tell. First of all, for those that don't know, I mean, most of my audience knows who you are. Tell us the evolution of Jamie Deluxe. You find some information, you kind of can't believe it, and you become this content creator that's utilizing like an iPhone 4 to reach the world. It's pretty
SE,
impressive.
iPhone SE.
iPhone SE.
Close. I don't know, man. I'm just, it's not like I ever had money or anything. And I've always been a musician, so I just, we learned to play music with shitty equipment, tie our strings back together when we were younger. We never had good equipment or anything, so that's just what I'm used to. It's just working with shit. It's not really the equipment you have; it's the ability to do something with it.
I think that's important for people to understand that kind of want to launch into this or say, oh, I feel helpless. I don't know what I can do. It doesn't take the top gear to reach people at all. In fact, right before we came on this, we were having those audio issues in the beginning. You always get these small little tech issues, and you're like, yeah, I got this monitor. And I'm like, dude, I pick up all my monitors. In fact, I'm looking for property right now so I can expand. I literally have about 7 monitors right to the left of me around the corner in the door that aren't hooked up to anything at all. They're just waiting to go in there because you got to make do with what you have. I don't have an 8K camera. I don't have a Red. I think the $50 webcam that's about the size of my thumb does a pretty damn good job with some lights. You know what I mean? It does a good job to convey the message. And look, you say you're a musician, but you're also a poet. And you've got very, very good timing, and the production value and the humor, especially, I think, is what reached people. Obviously, with the dark subject matter, makes it a little bit more palatable. Was that just kind of embedded in your personality, or did you kind of think about that?
I don't really think about anything. I just kind of go for it. So basically, if I'm like making a video or something, like these people are so easy to make fun of. It's so easy. So I'll say something or I'll think of something that will make me start cracking up. And if I start cracking up, I know other people will.
No, I do. I've always, I always tell my audience kind of tongue in cheek. I think I'm fucking hilarious. Obviously, not all my jokes are gonna land, but you got to kind of have a dark sense of humor about what's going on around you while you fight it. And certainly, there's never been a time period that I lived through in this country where there was so much censorship. Now, there may have been out there, hit pieces and attempts to discredit information, but never again in human history have we had such an effort to completely erase information and make it unavailable, and do so in a arbitrary, selective enforcement manner in which it's not what your credentials are, or it's not what facts you're presenting, it's what narrative you're pushing. And if you're pushing anything outside of that mainline narrative, they will find a way to censor you, whether you're talking about high-level pedophilia, If you're talking about the boop boop, and guys, by the way, I want to let everybody know, Jamie you are on the Rockfin at this point, right? I believe.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. I appreciate that too, because yeah, I got on it because of you originally.
Well, I mean, dude, if you're not at least following him on Rockfin, everybody needs to be doing that. That's following me as well. And if you are, again, a premium subscriber and endorsing Jamie, you get everybody else's stuff. Just like if you're premium on me, you get all his premium stuff. Although I know he doesn't do a lot of premium stuff. Listen,
not really, no.
Yeah, get on the tipping him. That his videos are important, and especially now as more and more of it's taken down. But I wanted to say that because we're going to do about 30, 40 minutes over here, hopefully, and then do a last 10, 20 over on Rockfin where we can let people know how we feel about these lockdowns, because they're trying to make that illegal. How wild is that? You know, we had these protests out in Europe, right? And, you know, they're trying to literally stop them from being able to protest lockdowns that, you know, I don't want to say that or might be unscientific, Jamie, because the World Health Organization certainly doesn't believe so, except for you believe that one representative when he totally said it was.
I know, man. It's it's fucking unbelievable what's going on. And I know it's confusing. It's confusing to me too, but that just makes me not buy anything even more. Mm-hmm. I'm like, you know, there's so many it's all a contradiction. Everything. Contradictions.
You know,
and bullshit.
I know that you had posted a video on your Twitter that in your school district they had basically put up these plexiglass barriers around all the children's desks. It looked like something out of a Sick and Twisted B-movie style, like 90s film. And instead, it was reality. And I was actually at a meeting with people that are concerned here in Iowa, and I showed people that, and they couldn't believe it. And right now in upstate New York, where I recently moved from, they've literally, you know, forget about the Krispy Kreme donuts that everybody's going to get if they show their lovely
I love
passport.
Krispy Kreme, though. Fucking delicious. It's a good donut.
I've always been a local or a Dunkin' man.
Yeah, I like Dunkin' too.
Yeah,
I don't really. I'm not really. I don't get donuts a lot.
Me neither. I can't. I'm old. Yeah, I got to look after my body. But this is an upstate New York hotel. This is Oneida County. This is nowhere near the city. And now to dine there, you'll have to show that you've been vaccinated twice. That's the Palisades Hotel. I truly hope they go out of business. Meanwhile, my brother is jumping through crazy hoops in that area in upstate New York with his niece, who's now been quarantined twice. Has to wear a mask while she plays field hockey. All that contact tracing and Microsoft Daily Pass that you saw going on with LA, that has been implemented in his region in New York as well. They've circumvented the Cuomo scandals into some kind of, he may be, you know, like, you know, sexually inappropriate towards women. It's like, who the fuck cares about that?
Yeah, I know. I mean, some of the shit is just like I don't even remember. It's so much has been going on. But like a kiss on the hand, and I'm like, that's, you know, it's kind of obvious to me. It's just deflection.
Yeah, well, the thing is, look, there's no doubt the guy's been a super creep, right? Like, you couldn't tell that Andrew Capo Cuomo, good old Andy, was a super creep the minute you looked at him. The guy looks like, first of all, I mean, talk about dark humor. I've been calling him Andrew Capo Cuomo for about 12 months now. It was only about 3 or 4 months ago when he had Anthony Fauci on after winning an Emmy, okay, bragging about how he and Anthony Fauci were the original De Niro and Pacino team.
Oh, man, I didn't see that. I could see that, though.
Brother.
I could see it.
I mean, it was the most when I played it on the air, but we'll just get the headline up here because we do it live. Thumbs up the video, subscribe, and share. And De Niro, Fauci, and the way that they were laughing about it, and he's like, "Which one do you want to be? You can be whatever you want. It's okay, Tony. Whichever one you want. We are not going to be disabled."
It's pretty obvious who Fauci is.
I mean, I would think
tiny little elf.
Yeah. I mean, But there it is right there. Governor Cuomo compares himself and Dr. Fauci to the Godfather stars De Niro and Pacino.
See, I was thinking, I was thinking De Niro and
Oh, you were thinking Pesci.
Pesci. That's a combination I see in my head.
No. See, he wanted to be more respectful for that than Pesci. Pesci would be a rung lower, not quite as gangster. Although I kind of appreciate Pesci a little bit more in the long run. That's okay. I love dogs. My audience loves dogs.
Just give me a few minutes, bud. Son.
Oh, it's your son coming in. If you need to go for a minute, don't.
No, it's cool. But all right, it's cool, man. They just, they don't ever give me any time.
No,
plus we're trying to sell. We're selling our house.
Time.
We're trying to get everything. We're trying to get stuff together, and we're gonna find a house. I think we got a buyer. I had like 10 different people over my house this weekend. I had to leave with the dogs. So much is going on.
So are you planning on getting out? Is that your deal? Are you moving from wherever you're at?
No, we're the same area, just somewhere bigger, so my mom can move back in with us because she had to move out like last year. When we bought this house, we didn't have kids. Now we got 2. So
okay, I got you.
It's not enough room. Yes, my mom lived with us, and blah blah blah. What are you doing? And now she had she moved out, so it's been a little rougher. But
I got you. It does always help to have some. Again, I got 2 kids upstairs and my sister, and I get it. It makes it a lot easier. Yeah. And they're what 10 and 11 now. So one was out at theater today, and that's great. I'm glad we're in a place where they can do that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
They both just got done with basketball. We're looking at soccer now. There's so much going on here, and that's why
my daughter does gymnastics twice a week and dance. My son doesn't do much. He likes video games. Hey, come on, dude, come on. I'll come play. I'll come play with you after this. Okay, we'll play video games.
What are you playing with the kids?
Go close the door. Thank you. You know what? I kind of like Minecraft. I'm not gonna lie.
You're a Minecraft guy.
I am now.
Yeah.
I found out it's like Legos, but like pretty much you can build anything.
See what I did. So there's like a Minecraft type. Those Disney Infinity games. So
I don't know.
So basically, they're the ones where they're toys to life. But one of the aspects of them is, you put it down and then they have the Marvel characters, they got the Disney characters, they got the Star Wars characters, but it's open world as well as having these play sets, which are like actual games. So you can build these worlds and you can build raceways and whatever. So it's kind of like Legos, only it's not Legos.
Yeah. And anything that you can be creative with is fun, and just, if I had the shit when I was younger, damn,
I was happy with Mortal Kombat 3. When I got Ultimate Mortal Kombat 3, even on what was it, the Genesis at the time, and then 6-button controller, it almost felt unreal. But then, by the time I was out in college and the N64 had Mortal Kombat Trilogy, I thought, this is it. This is the apex. And
I the way graphics and shit went. So what you got me do? You got me talking about video games here.
Hey, you know what I've been doing lately? Blowing off steam. I've been back to NBA Jam, bro. I play a little bit of NBA Jam. I'm enjoying it. You can be Joe Biden. You can be the Clintons. Yes. Dude, a lot of people don't know that. In the last NBA Jam game, you can literally be serial killer zombies like Joe Biden. Bill and Hillary Clinton are both in there.
John
McCain is in there. Obama. Bush and Cheney. You can be all those different characters. So
Death Squad.
Yeah, exactly, the Death Squad. And you can be the Beastie Boys. So if you want to dunk on those guys, you can do it as well. Moving forward, Jamie, no YouTube channels.
I know. I mean, I have one left, but it's not. I never put videos on it. It was a backup live channel. So that's all I got is Deluxe Chronicles. Everything else is gone.
See, I've got like 3 that I've never really posted to, and I don't know that I will, because as soon as I got that 2-week kickoff, I really just stopped for a while. I did it all.
It pisses you off.
It does piss me off. Listen, man. I mean, we won't say what I got kicked off of here, but like when I'm literally getting kicked, well, we could show it. Let's show it. I mean, when I'm getting kicked off, 2 of the 3 strikes, because they give you a warning first, is because YouTube wanted to cancel a Senate hearing, and I played that Senate hearing. Yeah. And so they removed that, and that's a wrap, man. And I can point to the clinical trial that guy is talking about, and anybody can read
they don't care. They don't. Other people could say it if you put it together in a certain way. They don't like that. They
No.
don't like that. You know, it's fucking ridiculous.
It is ridiculous. And it's like, dude, I've been trying to have real world solutions to all of this since the very beginning that were not lockdowns and not forced boops and not basically medical martial law. And what are we getting?
Yeah.
Forced boops, medical martial law, and lockdowns. And there are other alternatives, and they refuse to acknowledge them.
I know, it's crazy. We're lucky where we are because it's not. Sorry, I'm a big mic puncher. I'm always over here punching the mics in my live streams. But except for the school situation, it hasn't been bad here at all, really. I mean, there's been a couple of dickheads, but there always are. You know.
See, I mean, listen, man. In New York, it's over the top. In California, it's over the top. I live on the Illinois border. You pass over the bridge, just the bridge. We're talking about 5 minutes. It's over the top. Like I won't. So like when I go over the bridge, if I'm going to get something to eat, I won't get out of my car because I'm not going to be in Maskerville land.
It just gives me anxiety. I hate. I never like going to the store much anyway. Maybe back when I was, when I was younger. But yeah, I don't know. I don't want to go. I don't want to go to the store. I'm not going to wear a mask, but I know like everyone's staring at me like I'm some asshole. But whatever. I usually like look at my phone. I'm looking on videos. That's why it's good to do it on a phone. I can walk around, got an earphone in, cut, rewind. I ain't got to pay attention to nobody. I'm in my own little world. But I know that they're all looking at me like an asshole. So
well, here's what I've done. So I got and I'm probably gonna hit it after this. Go get myself a little coffee. There's a thing called Quick Star around here. Now, basically, one of the things I used to actually like doing back when there was a little thing called freedom.
Yeah,
little thing called freedom is I worked in night businesses where I get out 3-4 in the morning. I managed bars, that kind of thing. One of the things that I'd always do, that I'd like to do if I had like a girlfriend at the time, she'd usually work in the bar scene or be out. We'd go pick up what we were going to eat that night, before we went to bed at like 5 in the morning. Go there shopping, not a lot of people around, and then go cook it. Fresh, no real garbage other than that, nothing sticking around, blah, blah, blah. Can't do that anymore. Everything's shut down even here by 10 or 11 o'clock. They've taken that away altogether. This place I go get the coffee is 24 hours, and they actually have like an actual refrigeration produce section where you can get steaks and you can get like cabbage, you can get vegetables and all that other stuff that isn't frozen. Those guys hate where they have a bakery in the back too. So all the stuff is fresh. None of those guys, they have to wear the masks, but they hate it. I catch them all the time with the masks down.
Yeah,
we have a rapport.
I catch everybody like that. Everybody does that. So what's the fucking point? What's the point? Really?
It's control, man.
What is the point?
We know it's.
I know.
We know it. That's why they want to. I was telling, I was doing mixed martial mindsets with Fitch earlier today, and I was thinking, why don't we just do 7 shots, 7 boops, 2 in each side of the arm, then they bend you right over, they give you 1 in each cheek, and then the last one is like this long. They put it directly into your arnis, right into your ace hole.
They can test you that way too, so there you go.
Yeah, into your spine, and they squirt it in, and we do that every week. That's a weekly regimen. I think that's
fair.
fair.
A bowl to do it. Hey, just get bent over. Here comes a bowl for some bullshit. But I'm saying, I don't know. I can't. I hope. Well, I don't hope anything. Whatever. The anal swab test could come here. I haven't really heard much about it anymore. I bet you people would justify it. People would bend over and do it.
Well,
we're going to do it. We're going to be safe.
So where I left Oneonta, New York, not Oneida, but Oneonta, New York. What they were doing was they were doing wastewater testing from the college.
Yeah.
So they were testing wastewater. This is the takeover, man. This is to get into every nook and cranny of your life. I did a video on this earlier today, but there's a New York Post piece, okay, that is just boasting about this woman's life as a contact tracer, where she gets to tell people their symptoms. She gets to tell them what they have to do and narc on everybody and making her into a superhero. And if you say anything bad about it, it's a conspiracy theory. And meanwhile, Dr. Fauci is America's doctor, and they made a children's book about him. It wasn't enough that Israel gave him $1 million.
I know.
They've now literally, Jamie, made a children's book to let the kids know how great double maskingville is.
Well, they already knew because the virtual school. And here's the fucked up thing: the virtual school thing, the iPads. So many of the lessons are like they go to YouTube videos, right? Ads every fucking time. Who's making all this money here? All these people that are like contracts with the schools and all that. Oh, look at that. Whereas you and me get demonetized and deplatformed. That's one thing. Another thing is a thing called brain pop.
Okay,
it's like a thing, and Fauci's in there talking all this shit. Not in my kids, but I've seen it online. But so I know brain pop is a thing. So he was talking about like the vaccines and everything on this brain pop thing, the schools or whatever. It's like, Jesus Christ.
Well, that's the thing. They're taking more and more and more away from our children, and they're making it so hard for them to think for themselves. You know, one of the big points that I've now made about this whole entire thing is let's do basic math. Okay, I can't say the I word. We might say the I word over on Rockfin when we move there in about 10 minutes, folks. So again, if you don't have your free Rockfin account and you're not following Jamie and me, which is free to do and free to make, what are you waiting for? Hopefully, you're waiting for the next 10 minutes before we move over there.
I am going to start streaming there more often, you know, because I eventually want to. So after we do this move and stuff, we just got to find it. There's so much to do right now, but after this and stuff, I'm finally going to start the podcast that I've been saying I was going to start for. Now I have to. I feel like, you know,
you don't
so
have a
that
choice.
way I can have guests on, you know, like return the favors and stuff.
Well, dude, again, if you have any questions or want to know about any kind of cheap equipment and how to set something up or, you know, what to use, please reach out. But let's do some simple math. You know, right now they're gaming us and saying there's what? I believe it's like close to 500,000 people that have supposedly died over the last 12 plus months now in the United States via COVID-1984. So this is the Oxford study for a, common asthma treatment. It's called budesonide. This came out in February. Now, somehow a college dropout like myself was reporting on it all the way back in June. Having a doctor.
Dropout.
Yeah,
high school dropout.
Right here. This guy, beauty school dropout, guys. Get used to it. So you have, let's say 330 million people in the United States, right? Let's cut that to the death rate of what they say this thing is. They say it's 99.4% survivable across the board, according to the WHO in August of this year. So that's a 0.6%. So you end up with about 1.65 million people is about 0.6% of the population, right, Jamie? Now, never in history.
I disagree with you.
Sure, let's go with it. So in the history of viruses, there's never been one virus that has infected the entire populace, but let's say it did, right?
Yeah.
So if it did, that would mean 1.65 million people without treatment would die from this. But if you gave them, I don't know, a treatment that worked 90% of the time, here, let's zoom in on that for the audience that wants to see it live, because we do it live here, that works 90% of the time, that brings down the full death count, something that costs $5 to $20 at a drugstore and is readily available everywhere, to 165,000 if we did nothing else. No lockdowns, okay? No boops, no anything. Just this inhaled steroid alone, 90% reduction. So you don't do anything else. And I don't know why we didn't start this yesterday. I don't know why we didn't start this 6 months ago. I didn't know. Oh, wait.
You know what helped me realize it before? And I know we talked about him before. Reading some of Jim Marr's books.
Yeah.
I know. Didn't you say you interviewed him or something? You met him at least.
Yeah. I interviewed him a couple times and hung out with him a couple times too. He was great.
Okay. Yeah. Well, and he was talking. So I don't know which ones in particular, but he was talking about this kind of stuff like during a. Sorry, how does this make me laugh in there?
Wasn't it the one on the Fourth Reich?
No, did he write Population Control? I think he did.
He might have. That might have been maybe his last one, because I remember he did the 9/11 book. That's where the April Gallup interview came from, and we were able to track her down afterwards.
I didn't read that one. No.
But then he did the Fourth Reich, which, basically tells a big story about, the Nazis. He gets into Sitchin there. I always liked him, man, because Jim Marrs, even if I didn't agree with everything he said, he was really down to earth. He was willing to listen to other people's perspectives, and he did like the real on-the-ground journalism. He made the contacts.
I read like four of his books, and one was kind of boring and redundant. I don't know the fucking word. You know what I mean? Redundant. But the rest were great.
Yeah.
And that was the one was on the Illuminati, which, it's just like, the historical or whatever. But the facts were laid out. It just, was kind of boring to me. The rest were great, though.
Illuminati indeed, my friend.
Yeah. Population control was really good. I think that may be the one he was talking about.
Let's look up Jim Marrs' books. Let's do it.
Yeah.
We have the power.
I've read a few, yeah. But I think that one he was talking about during a pandemic. They won't even, go for alternative things, alternative medicines, and even if nothing works, you would think that I don't know. Oh, it's dangerous. Well,
so let's see what we got here. We've got Rule by Secrecy. We got Alien Agenda, The Rise of the
dude. Breaking shit.
Yes, it is Population Control, 2015.
That's good. Yeah, that one's really good.
That's his last book. He died
I read
shortly
the one
after.
next to it too.
Oh wait, no, he did Illuminati after that. That's right.
I read that one. That one was, like I said, kind of redundant. Population Control was great. The one next to it with the money, what is that?
Which one? The $1 trillion conspiracy.
That was good too. Good too.
Our Occulted History. Listen, again, Marrs was the man. Above Top Secret. He did so many good. The Sisterhood of the Roses, which is kind of the female Freemasonry, all that stuff. Alien Agenda, 1997. And then my favorite thing about him, again, was the fact that he was willing to look back at some of his other work and say, hey, maybe that wasn't as accurate, or maybe that guy was feeding me a story, or maybe that was misinfo, especially when you see the development from Alien Agenda, Rise of the Fourth Reich, and then the stuff he was writing about via the Population Control book. So Marrs is a real legend.
Well, it's all you always learn, and shit, I was a lot more gullible a couple of years ago, I guess you need perspective and stuff. I've learned a lot in the last few years, in particular the last year and a half, honestly.
Listen, I get things wrong. I looked at that Biden video. I thought it was completely fake, the buffer video. And then I saw the debunking of it. I got another high def side action. I brought it into my thing. I made the very real decision to say, no, it looks like I was wrong. And look at that. I'm a human being. I admitted my mistake. Let's move on. I certainly didn't call myself Dr. Pizza and physically abuse children. I didn't do that.
If you did, YouTube would be cool with it, because that was one of my videos that I got taken down for cyberbullying and harassment. It was on Dr. Pizza. Another one was on Michael Laney from Disney, the ex-vice president that's serving 6 years in prison for molesting a 6-year-old girl. YouTube don't like me talking about him. Or Dr. Pizza. They're the friends, I guess.
Can you at least explain to people where the Dr. Pizza moniker comes from and why that's super creepy? Not like the background behind it, but that's something he was like kind of referring to himself as, correct?
That was his. I think it was his Twitter name or something. Yeah.
Yeah.
I can't say for sure where it comes from, but I have suspicions.
Well, that's my point.
Yeah.
My point is, look, we don't know exactly whether or not it's related to that, but how odd that he was.
It is odd.
He was using that, and then we have, convictions in a court of law. It's like kind of weird that.
Well,
go ahead.
Oh, after it happened, I looked it up. I think he got 144 months in prison. So, at least because I didn't know what happened to that one, and I think I just looked up the other day. I did math. That was like 12 years.
Yeah,
12 years in prison. So he got more. But see, he got more time. You got double the time the dude that actually did molest the girl got. I wonder if it's because he was like a vice president,
Which, again, think about it, folks. You got somebody like Dennis Hassert, who is, at the time, the longest serving Speaker of the House, mainline Republican all over the place, labeled a serial child molester by a judge. And he did 0 times for ever molesting any children.
No, he did it for money. He did some time for money, right? Or
yeah. Well, he was basically it was I believe it was money laundering, because he wasn't claiming a lot of this stuff on taxes, and he was paying this guy off, and he was trying to say that, you know, he was being extorted, but then it came out the extortion stemmed from the fact he had an agreement not to tell on him for being a serial child molester. For molesting him. So like, and you know, all this comes out, and then the guy, I think he gets 15 months or something like that. But
something like that. It wasn't a lot, yeah.
Yeah, but he's an old man in a wheelchair, so he got out 3 months early, and nobody said anything, and they still don't talk about it. And you know, you don't want to take those guys on, because when you start talking about that instead of, you know, message board fantasies and pointing, you know, fingers at everybody as a satanic adrenochrome pedophile, when you don't have any kind of evidence, you know, other than they're a liberal, like they just happen to be liberals, then you get what happened in the South Park episode recently. And I was wondering if you had actually caught that new South Park episode. And what
I was kind of forced to. Jai, come on, dude. I was kind of forced to. Yeah, she had it on. I mean, I wasn't really. It made me sick.
It was tough, right?
Yeah. I was like, what the hell, man?
Especially,
I know why they did it. You know, to make everybody look like assholes. All of us look like assholes,
right?
So.
And the thing is that, you know, just them putting the very real thing with Epstein in there, and then showing and then showing Epstein hanging there, and that's not exactly how he died. Like, he wasn't hanging up at the top there. That's not how they found him. No. And then bringing in Tom Hanks and Oprah Winfrey, and they're in the robes, and it's, you know, it's internet videos, and then at the very end they almost do like a "so what if it's true," with them exposing themselves as the creators, doing the side thing, and then Garrison, who's the Trump character, saying, "I don't care if you're pedophiles, I just want my life back." And then all of a sudden, Israel comes in and saves the day with vaccines from the sky.
Yep.
You almost couldn't be. It's almost unbelievable that the parody of the unbelievable world was that unbelievable. Like,
that's a lot of unbelievable.
Exactly.
It's basically inconceivable.
You would think inconceivable, but I think it's more like that 90s pop song, You're Unbelievable. Like the things you say, they just blow me away. The things, boom, boom, you do.
So why can't I think of who's saying that?
It starts with an E, right? It was like, it was some, man, it wasn't EPMD, but like, let's look it up.
Something.
Yeah.
It's going to bug me.
Yeah, it's going to bug me if we don't do it either. And by the way, guys, so we're going to do like 2 more minutes here, and then we're going to go straight Rockfin. Okay, straight Rockfin, raw, uncut. We're going to say some things maybe I couldn't say on this. Oh, it is EMF.
That's right.
That is right. EMF. In fact, let me say this, Jamie. We've got a couple of Tipskis and Hutch coming from the Rockfin right now. David Westfall, thank you so much. And Eva Welch says, love you both. Keep up the great work. Both of my faves. Well, thank you. Oh, no.
Hello.
Oh, you came back.
I hit wrong button.
No, that's fine. That's fine. I wish I could play the EMF, but I don't want to even dare for the copyright strike. But it's so nice.
Yeah. See my live channel. I play music all the time. You're usually all right, but sometimes they can be dicks. So
yeah, they can be super dicks. So guys, this is what we're going to do. We're going to wrap it up here on YouTube. Thumbs it up on the way out. Only 106 thumbs. Piss poor, gentlemen. Piss poor. Can we get 150?
I appreciate every one of you.
I love you all too, but can we get them up for Jamie Deluxe? And then we are going to move all the way over to Rockfin exclusive, where we already got almost 50 people watching anyway. And we're going to talk about the little Fouch. We're going to talk a little bit more Cuomo. And then we're going to let him get into some crazy Minecraft games. So, Mr. Deluxe, say goodbye to the YouTube audience.
Bye, YouTube audience.
Yeah, that's what you get, YouTube.